What's going on, all you wild ghouls and wild cats? Meow! It's Logan Myerz back here for Cinephellas.com doing more 31 Days of Horror tonight. I'm going to be talking about an anthology movie, the second anthology film that Stephen King wrote, and I'm talking about Cat's Eye from 1985, starring the great young Drew Barrymore. She was in the Stephen King film Firestarter the year before in 1984, so she's returning, still a young child. This has to do with three stories: Quitters, Inc., The Ledge, and General. And all the stories have to do with this cat, General, the General, basically traveling to find the young girl, played by Drew Barrymore. In the third story, her against a troll. So the first story in the movie is Quitters, Inc. has to do with James Woods. He hires this company, Quitters, Inc., to help him quit smoking. And they're really aggressive about quitting, and he basically takes in like a pack of smokes and they like beat the shit out of it and tear him up. But if he smokes, bad things will happen to his family. So they're got like people out there watching James Woods throughout the first story. If he smokes, people will go after his wife, and it won't end well for them. So you can kind of see what James Woods is going through in the first story. He's, really fiending, needs a cigarette, but he knows what will happen. He ends up slipping, and things don't really turn out well. So I thought the first story, the setup of the film, is really well done. This movie definitely has a Twilight Zone meets Tales from the Crypt meets Creep Show kind of vibe to it. All anthologies and stories like that, it really has that vibe to it. So it's really good. It has a lot of good horror and then drama and comedy in it as well throughout the different stories. The cat takes off from Manhattan in the first story, ends up in Atlantic City. If you guys are familiar with that from Boardwalk Empire, just a lot of films that have been filmed in Atlantic City. It's really cool backdrop, really cool looking, a lot of casinos and things like that. And we have Robert Hays' character in the second one called The Ledge. He's kind of messing around with this woman. That woman's husband is like a mob boss. He owns a casino, finds out about it, and brings Robert Hays' character up to this penthouse he's living in. He's like, basically, if you could walk around the entire building on the ledge outside, like 100 stories high, whatever it is, like super high up there. If you walk around and survive and don't fall off the ledge, the crime boss will divorce his wife, and Robert Hays can be with the woman and move on with his life. So it sets up a lot of really great scenes in this with Robert Hays walking out on the ledge. There's this like pigeon that keeps pecking at his foot. He almost falls off. People that are afraid of heights, this will definitely terrify them. And I was watching this and I was feeling like shaky and sweaty. I'm like feeling for Robert Hays. Obviously you can tell it's like a green screen behind him. You really feel the intensity, what he's going through. One misstep, he's gonna fall off this ledge and die instantly. For the second episode, you're on the edge of your seat, obviously edge of the ledge, and hoping Robert Hays makes it through and takes out this really bad crime boss, this old man. He's a dick. He has the worst intentions. He wants this guy to die and so he can have his wife and she's not screwing around. And definitely one of the best stories in the three in this film. And then with that being said, the cat, the General, takes off and ends up in North Carolina from Atlantic City. He's trying to track down this young girl played by Drew Barrymore. And it really has to do with this troll that's in her room, in her walls, and like comes out at night. And this is the one story I remember watching when I was a kid. I watched it with my grandma on TV, TBS, TNT, I don't know, something late at night. But I remember this story of Drew Barrymore being all young and this troll coming up on her bed. Well, let me tell you what, it still creeps the shit out of me. The third story watching this, 2020, the costume design on the troll looked really well done, and it's still creepy looking. And I love how it's like lurking in the shadows and just like messing with Drew Barrymore's character, like sucking the breath out of her. And that's when the General shows up to save her, the young girl, trying to take out this troll. And it sets up this like 5-minute montage of like them fighting and the troll like going like falling off things, and you can tell it's like a set with like larger than life furniture, and they have a person playing the troll that's like running around. Still felt really creepy, and something that I'll remember probably forever about this movie is the third story having to do with that troll. But one thing that really bothered me about Cat's Eye, it really doesn't connect in any way besides the cat traveling to each place in each story, from Manhattan to Atlantic City to North Carolina. That's the only way these stories are linked. I wish they would have intertwined or connected at the very end somehow. Like in most anthology stories or movies, they somehow connect. but they really didn't connect besides that with the cat, so I thought that was kind of silly. They're all pretty much standalone episodes you would see in Twilight Zone or The Creep Show or something like that. They're not connected in any way, so that was one thing that really bothered me about it. But besides that, the acting, the stories, the writing, all the characters in these 3 stories were really well done. I love Drew Barrymore as the young actress. She really sold this performance, what she's coming across with a cat and, you know, a troll that's trying to kill her and kill the cat as well. And James Wood quitting smoking in Quitters Inc., the first episode of the second one. Robert Hayes in The Ledge, and that was really intense. You know, all these years later, you really could feel like you're on the top of this building or on the side of the ledge, and you feel like this dude's gonna fall off. You know, it's really crazy, and you get all sweaty and anxious about it. So, you know, all these years later, it still holds up. I like all these stories. I just wish they would have connected in some way besides the cat. And I thought the directing was really great. At the beginning of the film, they kind of have a few nods. The film's directed by Lewis Teague that directed Cujo, and Cujo and Christine are in the beginning part of the movie, which is kind of cool. You had the Plymouth car, and it has like the Christine bumper sticker on it, and the dog, Cujo, with rabies running around. So it was kind of funny in the beginning, and I like how Lewis Teague, the director, threw that in. And also great writing by Stephen King. He was the master of horror back in the 80s and 90s, really putting out great content. So Cat's Eye from 1985 is a film I highly recommend if you guys enjoy anthology films. Anything with Stephen King, Lewis Teague attached as director, I highly recommend this. Definitely check it out. And it's really spooky during the Halloween season, especially with that little troll. Woo! So I'm going to give Lewis Teague's Cat's Eye from 1985 a 3.5 out of 5 cat hair pieces. So I want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of Cat's Eye from 1985? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite story in the film? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with that wild troll up here. Until the next horror movie review for 31 Days of Horror. Cheers!